I would be doing a opening sequence with Mr. Hellbear, but today I'm not going to do Mr. Hellbear. I'm doing this as my real name, Derek Shepard, and I want to raise awareness to a problem that is in the nation right now, and it affects a lot of families, including mine and my friends. And it's called alcoholism. I was at a friend's house today. I was geared up and ready to do Mr. Hellbear and do the douchebag podcast, but I couldn't do it. Why? Because my friend's mother, she came home and she was completely drunk. She was completely intoxicated, and she came home. Not only not only she verbally abused my friend, but physically abused him too. And yes, it prompted me to come out of his room, to come to her. And you know what? I said something to her, and what I said is, I told her like this is your son. You're putting your hands on your son, and you're screwing up, you're drinking. I mean, you're drunk, you need to get out, you need a few moments outside, or probably like a day or so outside, because you're completely wasted, and you're physically and mentally abusing somebody. Now the police, I mean, and then she got mad at me because I said something that was true, and she called the cops. Why did she call the cops? Because look like this, she was delusional and thought I put my hands on her. Let me paraphrase this. She thought I put my hands on her. Let me tell you something about this. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you a lot of things about me. I have I have a wife and a 4-year-old son that does not live with me in my house, that lives in an apartment in Charlestown, Massachusetts. That's where I was at. And I did some recordings as Mr. Hellbear there. But I'm not going to release those. But I will never, in my years, put my hands on my wife or beat my son. I mean, abuse my son. This is what happens when you're drinking and you can't control yourself. You can't control the liquor and everything. It makes you out to be a violent person. It makes you out to be argumentative, combative, makes you do things that you don't want, that you will regret later, and even makes you say things that is not true about anyone, about yourself or anyone else. I know this for a fact because I know people who had drunk, who had a drinking problem, or has been intoxicated and couldn't control their liquor and did things wrong. I seen it all the time when I went to Starlight Ministries, which is a church on San Juan Street in Boston. And going to in Boston, I have seen people drink and lose control of their selves, lose control of their well being and everything like that. I'm not one of those guys. I have a house. I have a son. I have a wife, and I care about all of that. I care about my friends too. As a thing is, yes, one of my father's friends. I didn't know that he lived right across from my friend. Called the police and called my dad. So I spoke to my dad, and my dad gave me the most positive of all advices to give me. Just get out of there and walk away. If the police comes, just get out there, get out Just get out and all that stuff. I mean, get out the situation before you make it worse and everything like that. At that time, I thought, okay, I'm not gonna run from the police. I'm gonna go and tell them what's going on base by base. But then after a while, the cops didn't show up. And I was like, you know what? I mean, my friend was like, he was leaving. I was gonna do the same thing to go cool off. I never thought I was gonna make this recording of this, but this is serious to me. And and I know that okay, this is more than serious to anyone else. Now I'm going to tell you this, and this is actually shocking coming from me. If you have family and friends who drink alcohol and lose control, like my friend's mom did, instead of fighting back against them, instead of just call the police, tell them that this person's intoxicated. Let them know that okay, that you're being victimized by that person who is drinking. Because if you don't, the cops are going to see you as the suspect and not the victim. And that is true on many different levels. Given the fact of what's going on now in Baltimore and the killings of unarmed people by the police, yeah. Without a voice, we're the victims. Well, I'm saying this for the best for everybody. Don't be a victim. Speak out. Speak out for yourself. Speak out for your family. Get get that person who is intoxicated or has been excessively drinking some help. Get them into get them into detox or rehab or whatever. But just don't wait till the last minute. Because if you do, you'll regret it. You'll regret it big time because I always say this all the time. You never know what you got till it's gone. And it's a sad thing that I say this because you know what? It has happened. I had people who lost somebody they care about through the alcohol or drugs or gang violence. I never wanted this to happen. I never wanted the situation to get to the point where it became abusive and I had to watch it and say something about it. I know everybody's gonna say that's not my place to say anything about it. Wrong. It is. It's my place. It is my situation to speak up because you don't want to be silent. Be silently abused or verbally abused or physically abused. To stand in silence and say nothing is lower than dirt. It's a shameful thing and it gets people killed every day. More than anything. I have seen people lose their life due to alcohol. And it's very, very bad. Alcohol is a very dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous thing to drink, to use, whatever. You don't want to be out here drinking. It is a shame. It is bad. It's evil. It should have never been here in the first place. This is Derek Shepard, also known as Mr. Hellbear. Peace out. Get your family members some help and tell them that you love them.